Love yourself before you love her. This phrase may seem simple, but it carries profound wisdom. It's not just a lesson about love. It's a deep insight into life itself. We often lose ourselves in relationships, depending too much on others' emotional responses to validate our own worth. However, true love is never about dependency or taking. It's about independence rooted in self-love and self-respect. Self-love isn't selfish. It's a conscious, internal force that provides a stable foundation for our emotional relationships. If we don't truly love ourselves, how can we expect others to love us? If you can't accept your own strengths and flaws, how can you expect others to recognize your brilliance and respond in kind? In relationships, we often place ourselves in a passive role, hoping someone else's love will fill the void within us. But healthy relationships aren't built that way. Only relationships built on self-love can be equal, respectful, and supportive of mutual growth. Self-love is not self-centeredness. It's the respect and appreciation of our own intrinsic value. It means understanding our own needs and feelings, and maintaining our sense of self in interactions with others. Only when we learn to truly love ourselves can we love others with maturity and independence. Today, we'll explore how to create a healthier, more balanced space for both ourselves and others by practicing self-love in our relationships. Don't close the video. What comes next is for those truly ready to elevate themselves. Let's dive into this journey of self-love and discover the best version of ourselves. Self-love might seem like a simple concept at first, but its depth goes far beyond our surface-level understanding. Self-love isn't just about thinking positively of yourself or feeling that you deserve love. It's a profound form of inner acceptance, a respect and appreciation for your very existence. It means fully accepting both your strengths and weaknesses and deeply acknowledging your own uniqueness and worth. Self-love is not about blindly loving yourself. It's about recognizing your importance, understanding that you deserve love, and giving yourself the care and respect you need. It's not about arrogance or complacency, but rather an awakening of self-awareness that allows you to stand firm in all aspects of life and make decisions that benefit your well-being. Too often, we misunderstand self-love, thinking it means indulging ourselves unconditionally. But in reality, healthy self-love is more closely related to taking responsibility for ourselves. It's about supporting your inner self, even in the face of challenges. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have the power to choose how to respond. You have the power to choose how to see yourself. Across many cultures and philosophical systems, self-love is considered an important virtue. There is a significant difference between self-love and selfishness. Selfishness is a self-centered behavior that ignores the needs of others, while self-love is an action based on recognizing and pursuing your own growth. Healthy self-love doesn't place yourself at the center of the world. Rather, it's about understanding your unique role and value within the world. When you truly respect yourself, you realize that you don't exist to please others, but to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "The most important responsibility a person has is to control themselves." This statement reveals the core of self-love. By mastering our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we are better able to live the life we desire. The philosophical foundation of self-love can be traced back to ancient philosophical thought. In Stoicism, self-love is seen as a key aspect of a person's spiritual and rational development. The Stoics believed that rational thought and inner peace come from understanding and accepting the depths of our own being. This form of self-awareness is not superficial confidence, but a profound self-acceptance, accepting all of ourselves, imperfections, and all. One of Stoicism's core teachings is that while we cannot control the external world, we can choose how to respond to it, how to accept each moment we face with inner calm. In Confucianism, self-love is also considered central to cultivating virtue. Confucian teachings emphasize self-reflection, meaning that through introspection and self-cultivation, we reach inner harmony. In The Great Learning, it says, to investigate things, to extend knowledge, to be sincere in thought, to rectify the mind, to cultivate the self, to regulate the family, to govern the state, and to bring peace to the world. This highlights the necessity of self-cultivation, suggesting that only when we've cultivated ourselves and accepted our inner selves can we influence others, and by extension, the world. Therefore, self-love is not just the foundation of personal development, but also the precondition for positively impacting others and society. So what does self-love really mean? It's far more than emotional self-affirmation. It's built on inner respect and growth. Self-love means you understand your true needs and know how to create a supportive environment for yourself in every area of your life. In relationships, self-love provides the foundation for healthy interactions. If you can't love yourself first, how can you love others? True love begins with self-awareness and acceptance. Only when we are strong enough and emotionally fulfilled can we offer others love that is equal and authentic. For example, imagine you're in a relationship where you constantly accommodate the other person, sacrificing your own needs and feelings. Eventually, you'll find yourself losing touch with who you are, feeling as though you no longer matter. Such behavior doesn't stem from genuine love. It's rooted in neglecting your own value. True self-love demands that you maintain your independence and self-respect while forming relationships. You can clearly express your needs, set boundaries, and respect the needs and feelings of others. It is in this balance that both parties can build a healthy relationship based on mutual respect. Therefore, self-love is not just an emotional expression. It's an inner strength, the foundation of personal growth, and the key to forming healthy, lasting relationships with others. Once you've learned to love yourself, you'll truly understand how to love others. When we talk about self-love, another concept that cannot be overlooked is emotional independence. Emotional independence is an essential part of healthy self-love. It means being able to live independently and fully, without relying on the emotional responses of others. In other words, emotionally independent people understand that they are the main character in their own lives, and others are simply companions who enrich that journey. Emotional independence doesn't mean isolating yourself or shutting others out. Rather, it's about maintaining your sense of self in relationships and not letting your happiness or self-worth depend entirely on the presence or validation of others. The importance of emotional independence lies in its ability to prevent us from putting our emotional well-being and happiness in the hands of others. Relying on others to validate our self-worth is dangerous, as it strips us of our personal autonomy and places us in an unhealthy emotional state. In this state, we may feel anxious and insecure, constantly worrying about whether we're gaining the approval of others or meeting their needs. This emotional dependence means we are outsourcing our inner peace to external factors, neglecting our own independence and self-value. When we cannot independently meet our emotional needs, we often experience a sense of emptiness, desperately needing someone else's love to fill that void. This emptiness doesn't stem from a lack of worth, but from not having learned how to love ourselves. We begin to feel that without the recognition and attention of others, we cannot prove our value. Over time, this dependence drags us into an endless pursuit, always craving external emotional validation while overlooking our own internal needs and growth. The conflict between emotional dependence and self-love is often subtle. On the surface, we might tell ourselves, "I'm just caring for him. I'm willing to do anything for him." However, at a deeper level, this dependence usually stems from insecurity about our own worth. We fear that if we don't meet the other person's needs, we won't be loved or accepted. In this case, we lose our independence and may forget our original desires and needs. True self-love requires us to acknowledge our emotional needs and learn to independently meet those needs, rather than relying on others to provide our happiness. We don't need to depend on others' emotional responses to validate our existence. Instead, we build confidence through our own growth and inner fulfillment. When you learn how to care for yourself independently, you'll find that loving others becomes healthier and more natural. You no longer need others to fill the void inside you. Instead, you approach love with equality and respect. In romantic relationships, emotional independence creates balance. When both individuals are independent and self-sufficient, they can build a relationship based on equality, rather than seeking satisfaction through mutual dependence. This kind of relationship is free of unnecessary pressure and anxiety, as both people understand their own worth and can share love based on mutual respect. For example, imagine being in a relationship where both you and your partner are very independent, each having your own career, interests, and lifestyle. You love each other but also respect each other's personal space and time. In such a relationship, small arguments don't weigh heavily on the relationship, and neither of you relies on the other for emotional support. Instead, you find balance in your independence, giving each other more respect and freedom. You both understand that love is liberating, not confining, and that mutual support comes from self-love, not emotional dependence. Emotional independence not only helps maintain self-respect and freedom in relationships, but also strengthens you in the face of challenges. When you have enough inner strength to confront life's challenges independently, you no longer place all your pressure and emotional needs on your partner. You can face difficulties together, but you don't need to rely on each other to find your own value and meaning. Therefore, emotional independence is not about coldness or distance. It is a mature emotional attitude. Only when you can live independently, without relying on others, and understand your inner needs, can you truly give love to your partner in a balanced way and create a healthy, fulfilling relationship together. Emotional independence makes you a more complete person, and this is the foundation for building a truly healthy and lasting relationship. Confidence and self-love are deeply interconnected. In fact, self-love is the foundation of true confidence. Only when we genuinely accept and value ourselves can we cultivate unwavering confidence. This type of confidence is not about blind arrogance. It's a healthy self-assurance rooted in self-respect and internal acceptance. When we are at peace with our strengths and weaknesses, we can confidently engage with the world, showing up as our best selves in both relationships and love, exuding greater attraction and rationality. Confidence emerges from self-love. The actions we take to love ourselves help us understand our own worth and needs. We stop relying on external validation to define our value. Instead, we find our self-worth in recognizing and accepting ourselves. Confidence is not built on praise from others, but on internal acknowledgement and self-affirmation. When we truly understand and embrace who we are, we can approach the world with confidence and ease, handling challenges and emotional obstacles with calmness because we know we deserve the best. Acts of self-love help cultivate a positive self-image, which in turn nurtures healthy confidence. When we prioritize our well-being, give ourselves the time and space to grow, and pursue personal happiness, our sense of self-worth naturally increases. This type of confidence isn't shallow or superficial, but stems from deep fulfillment and self-recognition. For example, by developing healthy habits, setting personal goals, and striving to achieve them, we experience a sense of accomplishment and capability. This internal satisfaction directly translates into stronger confidence. The core of confidence isn't relying on others' opinions, but increasing our value through self-acknowledgement. Confident individuals have a clear understanding of themselves. They know their strengths and weaknesses and are not swayed by external judgments. This self-awareness is an expression of self-love. Self-love teaches us that no matter how others perceive us, we still have immense value and are worthy of pursuing our goals and dreams. Confidence is closely tied to attraction as well. Psychological studies show that confidence is one of the most attractive traits in romantic relationships. Confident people not only easily capture the attention and admiration of others, but they also bring rationality and maturity to their love life. In relationships, confident people don't rush to seek validation from their partner because they've already validated themselves internally. This allows them to maintain clear thinking and emotional stability in relationships, rather than depending on their partner to define their worth. Inner confidence manifests in a person's demeanor and actions. A confident person, no matter where they go, exudes a unique appeal. This attraction doesn't come from physical appearance or smooth words, but from their deep respect for and affirmation of themselves. When we truly love ourselves, we naturally project an aura of confidence. For example, a confident person entering a room might stand tall, look people in the eye, and exude a calm, assured energy. Such individuals make others feel comfortable and at ease because their confidence radiates from within, not from seeking emotional validation from others. In romantic relationships, attraction isn't about trying to fulfill the other person's needs or constantly appeasing them. It stems from self-recognition and independence. A common mistake people make in love is over-accommodating their partner's needs, thinking that pleasing them will earn their love and validation. However, this often leads to inner unease and dissatisfaction, as we aren't truly accepting ourselves or expressing our own needs. Through self-love, we gain a better understanding of ourselves and engage with others in a more authentic and independent way. This kind of independent, genuine confidence is far more attractive than seeking approval or constantly depending on others for affirmation. When we learn to enhance our attractiveness through self-love, we not only attract the right people for us, but we also maintain our dignity and freedom in relationships. We no longer see ourselves as tools for someone else's emotional fulfillment, but as independent individuals, sharing our love with others from a place of confidence and self-respect. This attraction is profound and lasting. It comes from a place of inner self-assurance and respect, not from superficial pleasing or false pretenses. Thus, confidence and self-love go hand in hand. Self-love provides the foundation for confidence, and confidence allows us to demonstrate true attraction and rationality in love. In romantic relationships, only when we learn to love ourselves first and accept ourselves fully can we build healthy confidence, leading to relationships that are equal, free, and enduring. Self-love is not just an abstract concept. It is a practice that must be continuously nurtured and applied in our daily lives. It is not merely a theoretical idea, but something that requires tangible actions to embody and strengthen. Each of us has inner needs and emotional desires, which are often neglected or suppressed. Self-love begins with recognizing and caring for our inner selves. Self-reflection and introspection are key steps in achieving this goal. Through regular self-reflection, we can gain clarity about our true feelings, understand what we truly need, and begin to listen to the voice within us. Reflection and introspection are important tools for understanding self-love. Many people tend to neglect their own needs amidst the busyness of life. We are accustomed to catering to external demands while overlooking our inner feelings. Through reflection, we can reevaluate ourselves and ask, am I truly concerned about my feelings and needs? Have I been prioritizing others' needs over my own inner voice? These questions may cause discomfort, but they are the first step toward the journey of self-love. True self-love is not about pleasing others, but about better understanding ourselves and respecting our own needs and emotions. For example, many times we lose ourselves in relationships, especially in love, where we tend to neglect our own needs to please our partner. We might hesitate to express our true thoughts for fear of conflict or losing the other person's affection. But through reflection, we come to realize that our feelings and needs are equally important, and we don't have to prove our worth by accommodating others. The first step in self-love is learning to focus on ourselves, paying attention to our inner needs, rather than constantly trying to meet others' expectations. Once we recognize our needs through reflection, the next challenge is to practice self-love in our daily lives. Self-love is not an occasional act, but a habit that must be cultivated every day. When you truly learn to love yourself, this attitude will manifest in every decision and action you take. Self-love is not just about addressing our inner needs. It also extends to how we manage our lifestyle, health habits, and emotional boundaries. Self-care is an important aspect of practicing self-love. Self-care is not selfish. It is about respecting both our emotional and physical well-being. Simple actions such as making time for rest and not allowing work or external pressures to dominate our lives are ways to express self-care. We can also create emotional space for ourselves, allowing ourselves to feel negative emotions without forcing ourselves to move on too quickly. Self-care also involves making decisions that benefit us, like maintaining a healthy diet, exercising regularly, and ensuring enough sleep. These actions not only make us physically comfortable and fulfilled, but also enhance our recognition of our self-worth. Setting boundaries is another crucial practice in self-love. Many people lack clear boundaries, especially in emotional relationships, where they are easily swayed by others' needs and sacrifice their own time and energy. Learning to set boundaries means recognizing what you can tolerate and when to say no. This is not about being cold or distant. It is about respecting your own limits and needs, ensuring that you don't get overwhelmed by others' demands. Setting healthy boundaries not only protects us, but also helps us maintain self-respect in our interactions, preventing undue pressure and burden. In addition to self-care and boundary setting, emotional regulation is also vital in practicing self-love. Maintaining a good mental state is essential for self-love. When we can effectively manage our emotions and maintain inner balance, we find ourselves better equipped to face life's challenges. Whether through meditation, deep breathing, journaling, or engaging in creative activities, finding ways to regulate our emotions and stay calm is a key part of self-love. This inner sense of balance enables us to make choices that align with our inner values, even in the face of external pressures. Through these daily actions and habits, we can not only enhance our own happiness, but also develop healthier and more mature emotional relationships. When we learn to practice self-love in our daily lives, we create a more meaningful existence for ourselves. Self-love is not just comforting ourselves in times of difficulty. It is a continuous, proactive attitude toward life, expressed through every small action and decision. Therefore, the practice of self-love is not achieved in a single moment. It requires ongoing reflection, care, and boundary setting in daily life. These practices help us establish a healthy self-image and enable us to engage with the world with confidence and ease, forming equal and healthy relationships with others. Self-love is not a selfish act. It is the foundation of love itself and the prerequisite for building healthy and profound emotional relationships. We often focus on loving others, especially in emotional relationships, where we are willing to give everything for the other person while neglecting the most important point. If we cannot love ourselves first, how can we expect others to love us? True love is not about one-sided giving. It is based on a relationship of mutual respect, understanding, and support. And all of this starts with the love and respect we give ourselves. Self-love is an inner strength. It is not only the glue that holds our emotions together, but also the driving force for growth and change. It allows us to accept ourselves fully, understand both our strengths and weaknesses, and move toward a more mature and rational love built on self-acceptance. When we truly love ourselves, we no longer rely on others to define our value and existence. Instead, we work on our own growth and effort to become better individuals. Only when we possess this inner strength and confidence can we love others and form genuine, deep emotional bonds. The significance of self-love is that it helps us realize that the essence of love is not about pursuing a perfect dependency, but about two people growing together in their self-development. We often mistake love for dependence and sacrifice, forgetting the importance of equality and independence. The true meaning of love lies in mutual support and growth, not in one person losing themselves for the happiness of the other. When we learn to love ourselves, we no longer seek love to fill an emotional void. Instead, we seek love to become a more complete person, one who is worthy of love. As such, our love will be healthier and more stable because it is no longer based on excessive dependency, but develops on a foundation of equality and independence. Self-love is the basis of love. It helps us maintain clarity and rationality in relationships. When we lack self-love, we tend to lose ourselves in love, relying too much on the other person's emotional feedback to validate our worth. This dependency often creates emotional imbalances, leaving us feeling anxious and unfulfilled in love. On the other hand, when we learn to love ourselves, we can maintain our self-respect and independence in relationships without being swayed by emotional ups and downs. This healthy self-love enables us to handle conflicts and difficulties rationally, preventing ourselves from sinking into emotional turmoil. Loving ourselves is the deepest form of love. Self-love is an unconditional acceptance, a full embrace of our past, present, and future. It does not depend on how others perceive us. It is reflected through our actions and thoughts. Only on this foundation can we offer true love to others without relying on or expecting something from them. Loving others is not about losing ourselves, but about offering our most genuine care and love to others, rooted in the solid foundation of self-love. Therefore, self-love is not just an emotional state. It is a profound transformation brought about by personal growth and inner cultivation. When we learn to love ourselves, we develop a stronger inner self, one that allows us to maintain balance and rationality in love, thus forming truly equal and healthy relationships. This kind of relationship is what we all desire deep down inside. When we truly learn to love ourselves, we become people who are more worthy of being loved. Not only can we create a richer and more meaningful life for ourselves, but we can also offer others real, equal, and profound emotional connections. Only on the foundation of self-love can we establish the most genuine and deep emotional relationships. Because to love ourselves is the deepest form of love. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this content inspiring. If you liked this episode, please leave your thoughtful comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more valuable content.